Hey guys, Encore here. I just want to do a quick video going over some arcade mode stuff for Street Fighter V. I came across an interesting technique for getting a really high score almost consistently, depending on how much work you want to put in. And it is very reminiscent of the same strategy you would use in survival mode instead of just actually beating the mode. This would be for going for a high score this time. Just for an example, I was really having a hard time figuring out why some of these guys on here have such a high score, and I didn't want to start crying hacks or anything just yet, because I don't think that's what's going on, but it left me with a lot of questions because I was looking at all the points that you can grab just from the mode and just adding up things to see, okay, what could they possibly be doing to cultivate such a high score? And just nothing was really adding up well enough for me. Or something, I don't know. But, it was really interesting, and just like a half hour ago, I was in the middle of doing a run on the Street Fighter 3 ladder, and I got on the last level. I was playing Urian against Alex, and I just got completely screwed up in the first round. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna turn on network settings to see what happens. I wonder if it'll keep my score and work pretty much the same way it would in survival mode. And lo and behold, it actually does. If you are in a level of arcade mode, and you're not doing too well, you can enable network settings or matchmaking and go into an online fight in the middle of your arcade level, do your fight, and come back to the start of whatever level you're on without any penalty to your points. And that really enlightened me as to why some of these scores were so high, because I would be willing to bet that a lot of these guys are doing exactly that to get as high a score as possible, and are spending, you know, a good hour or two just making sure that they perform at the highest level on each level of arcade in each round to make sure they get all the points available. Getting all the big combos, the first attacks, counters, crush counters, all that stuff. But most importantly, getting that straight victory that gives you that solid 6,000 points. At least when you're playing in a first to three. Oh, crap. So we're just gonna finish out this round so we can get to round 2, just so I could show this off. And hopefully this ability is nice enough to actually let me do that. Okay, here we go. So we're gonna go into round 2. We're gonna get all our points from this stage.
You win.
And we're just going to do a little example showing how this works. But I'm already guessing that you have an idea of what it's gonna look like. So let's just face Ken, because he does a lot of mean things consistently. Okay, so yeah, it sounds just like it does, and I'm probably gonna fast forward a little bit through here, because I'm gonna, you know, quote-unquote choke out this round, then dip out into an online match, do that, and then come back just to show that the score is still there, and pretty much prove that if you're willing to put in a ton of time into getting a high score, then not everyone really cares about that. Some people, you know, they do arcade mode, they get whatever images from the gallery that they get, and that's all they really care about, and they just go back to playing online, which is completely fine. But for someone like me who really likes single-player modes and plays them constantly, I'm all about them, and, you know, I would like to make it a point to getting as high a score as I can each month, since that's what Capcom's doing with Street Fighter V's arcade mode.
One win,
and
3 losses.
So we're just gonna do this match really fast. We'll be right back at the start of the round. Okay, so now getting back into our arcade run, we are going to cut off this set because we're just going to take our win and leave with it, and return to previous mode. This is going to take us back to the beginning of stage 2, acting like just acting like what we did before. We went into the online match just like it never happened. And we will soon see that our points were unchanged, and it's essentially just a big mulligan we just did. Once it loads us in. There we go. Okay. So, if you look, yep, 3-4-0, that is what we had before. Okay, so that pretty much proves what or how this works, and like I said, if you're willing to put in the time to really grind out each stage and to make sure you get as high a score as you can for each time, then yeah, you can get a very high score, if not the top score on the leaderboard. So that's all I have to say. I've already been droning on this long enough, but let me know what you think, leave a comment or anything like that, and yeah, tell me what you think.